Good morning, adventurers. And welcome to the Sunday service of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Grand Traverse. My name is Beth Strawbridge, and I'm a member of the Sunday Services Committee. I'm delighted to welcome you to this very special all-ages service where the whole party gathers. Children, youth, elders, longtime members, first-time visitors, and curious travelers passing through. Here at UUCGT, we welcome people of every background, identity, ability, age, and story. Whether you see yourself as a cleric, a wizard, a rogue, a ranger, or someone who has never rolled a 20-sided die in your life, you belong here. We especially extend our love to families with young children. Sometimes worship includes joyful sounds and wiggles. That's not a disruption. It's part of our shared life together. We're building a culture of welcome, and that includes our youngest adventurers. Whether you're here in the sanctuary or joining us online, whether it's your first quest with us or your 100th gathering around this hearth, we are so glad that you're here this morning. If you're visiting us today, we would love to get to know you. If you're comfortable, I invite you to stand and introduce yourself. A microphone will be brought to you so that everyone here and online can hear. If you prefer to remain seated and simply observe, that's perfectly fine too. Are there any visitors this morning who would be comfortable sharing? Well, if you are new today, we hope you will join us for coffee hour after the service. If you use a yellow mug, we can greet you more easily and welcome you into conversation. No side quests are required, just good company and warm beverages. Later in the service, we will share the joys and concerns of our community. If you have something on your heart to share, you're invited to write it in the book on the left side of the sanctuary where the candles are on the table. A member of our congregational care team will read these entries aloud later. You are also welcome to light a candle at any point during the service, a small flame in the great story that we are holding together. There are a couple of announcements before we begin. Our UU Common Read, Social Change Now by Deepa Iyer will take place after the service today. This is an all-ages gathering. Children are welcome. We'll explore the ideas together, so don't worry if you haven't read the book. Lunch is provided, and drop-ins are welcome. UU orientation will be held after the service on March 22nd, not after the service next Sunday as printed in the bulletin. This orientation on the 22nd is to learn more about Unitarian Universalism and UUCGT. There will be a sign-up at the welcome table in the hall. And now, as we prepare to begin, I invite you to set aside the busyness of the outside world. Silence your phones and electronic devices. Take a deep, centering breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Now let us worship as we listen to our centering music with David Chow.
whoever you are and wherever you are on life's journey this morning, you are welcome here. I'm Reverend Alex, you're a resident cleric here, if you didn't notice that. I'm dressed in my usual costume since, the role really fits me. I'm joined by our dear friend as well, our resident role-playing game enthusiast, Chris Hammerberg, and together, Chris is over here, together we are going to be your dungeon ministers this morning, a play on the term dungeon masters, which is the one that runs the game of Dungeons & Dragons. So we'll be your dungeon ministers. Good morning on this Dungeons & Dragons Sunday, where we'll have our second annual installment of our worship-wide game of Dungeons & Dragons. This is a story that will continue from the last year we did it, which was a lot of fun. And I know that congregations have done Dungeons & Dragons themed services before. However, I haven't seen a congregation brave enough to actually roll the dice and let that determine what happens in the service. So that's pretty brave, and you're on for an adventure today. But we're also, I think, very novel in adapting the social change now common read framework as well, and matching that to Dungeons & Dragons roles. So we're really in for an awesome treat today. So you will play a vital role in all of this and whether we succeed or fail. So I hope you're ready to play your part, and I also hope you brought your lucky socks today for those roles. I know Chris has his lucky socks on, D&D socks. So don't worry if you have no idea what we're talking about yet. More shall be revealed soon as we embark on this adventure. So to set the scene and get us started, I'll turn things over to Chris.
Hello, good morning. Usually my name is Chris Hammerberg. Today you may know me as Osric Half-Elven. My pronouns are Dungeon Master and Game Master. How many of you were here for the D&D service last year? Oh, excellent. Excellent. For those of you who weren't, and particularly for people who are new, this is not usually how we do things. Throughout the service, I'm going to describe a series of scenes and invite you to imagine those as we knit together a fantastic story. I encourage you to follow me into this realm of imagination and try to place yourself within these situations. However, be warned, like last year, this is no meditative visioning exercise. Dangers and perils lurk within. Trials and tribulations abound. Beware. Like last year, when we meet a challenge, I'll ask one of you to step forward and roll a 20-sided die. On the roll of a 10 or higher, we have succeeded. On a roll less than 10, we will weather the consequences of failure. But before we set out on another adventure, I have one piece of bookkeeping. I was checking my notes from the last game, and after all the challenges we faced last year, you all have leveled up. You're now a level 2 congregation. Congratulations. This means whenever we roll the die, we'll be able to add 1 to the result. So, congratulations. All right, let's dive in, shall we? When last we met, you had just escaped from beneath a ruined temple and the catacombs below. You had faced many challenges to do it, but you won a hard-fought victory. When you emerged from that labyrinth, you found yourself in a strange world surrounded by a trackless wilderness. In search of some bastion of civilization, you set out on a hard journey, and after long leagues of travel, you at last came to a town called Hearth's Home, a rustic but decently sized village. But the joy of finding this bastion of civilization was quickly tempered by the state that you found it in. It lies at the foot of a volcano, long thought to be dormant, but it has recently begun belching dark and sulfurous clouds into the sky, such that the land is no brighter than dusk, even at midday, and the crops wither in the fields. Those few locals brave enough to speak to outsiders tell you of other troubles. They tell you disturbing tales. They say that you're not the only group to come seeking shelter in Hearth's Home, for there are elven refugees who have fled their home in the west, an ancient forest that's been laid to waste by a vile elder dragon named Cleamat Chinge. They tell you of the Golden Overseer, a tyrant who has risen to power on a wave of fear and anger. They say he has built his keep upon the side of this mountain, and ever since he's occupied this keep, poisonous gases have been spewing from that ancient caldera. They tell you of a very vocal minority of the townsfolk who have been convinced by this golden overseer to follow him with a cult-like devotion. And from their ranks, he recruits masked henchmen to enforce his will. Dire times indeed for Hearth's home. Not the haven you were hoping to find, but you can travel no longer, and something in you calls for change. When you first arrive in the center of the village, it seems that the townfolk are in the midst of preparing for a celebration of the fall equinox, a traditional celebration of the harvest. Garlands of dried flowers and painted gourds decorate the homes. And a large pile of wood and brush has been arranged in the center of town in a large pyre where the people hope to light a celebratory bonfire. Unfortunately, those uniformed men wearing featureless clay masks, they prevent the people from gathering. Don't allow them to light this bonfire. They say it's for their own safety and that the golden overseer has forbidden it. Are there any among you who would stand up for the people of Hearth's home and help them light their fire? We have someone here. What is your role, young adventurer? Are you a cleric? Are you a fighter? What role have you taken? I see you look like a wizard. Yeah. What would you like to do to help these people light their bonfire?
I want to try to light it with
A fire spell? Okay. Do you have a wand or a staff that you use to cast your magic? So you take out your wand and you attempt to cast a spell of fire to light the bonfire despite the protestations of these masked henchmen. Okay, so you get to roll a die. Now, this year is something else that's different. Each of you have adopted a role, hopefully. When you take an action that fits with your role, you'll get to roll the dice twice and take the better result. So if you can roll this 2 times and tell me what the higher number is.
19.
Oh, that's very good, 19. That's already good.
And a 9.
And a 9. Well, the 19 plus 1 is 20. A great success. So you cast your wand, and the fire spell ignites the bonfire in the center of the town, and the people cheer in celebration. All right, well, the bonfire is lit. Please join me in reading your mission statement, which you can find on the back of your order of service. All right. Grounded in love, we protect the web of life by building beloved community, making good trouble, embodying radical love, and engaging in lifelong learning. To mark this celebratory occasion, Alex takes from his pack the old singing bowl we found last time in the catacombs beneath the ruined church. Please listen to the sound as we reflect on our journeys and the challenges ahead. Then the people break into song.
Would you please rise in body or in spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 1000 from the Teal Hymnal, Morning Has Come. Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance in joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines, the morning To see that life abounds, open hearts to welcome it among us. A light of love here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
Intrepid travelers, our younglings may come forward for a side quest. A knife in your boot, heck yeah. A frontline responder, that's very important. I just get to sit and listen to the story this morning.
You can join in too if you would like, Chelsea.
Perfect.
Welcome, young adventurers. So, you guys have found yourselves also in this town, Hearth's home, and you spend some time with the people of this village and you begin to listen to them carefully. And they tell you about some of the problems that they're having around the town. They can't seem to find enough food. Many people are injured and sick, but the healers and doctors have been taken up the mountain to visit with the Golden Overseer, and the townspeople have been told just to eat healthier. People are beginning to lose hope, and they could use some lift to their spirit. And people could be brought together to help build the bonds of friendship. Now, are there any of you that think that you could help them with one of these problems?
Well, first I just want to say, don't shoot me. You polymorphed me into a rabbit.
Oh, you're a rabbit, okay. We have a witch here. What would you like to do to help these townspeople?
Inspect the volcano.
You want to inspect the volcano? Well, interesting, yes. So how do you go about inspecting it? Do you want to climb to the top and look in, or do you use some of your magic to inspect it? How do you go about this? Yeah, all right. So you begin to cast a spell of seeing, perhaps, so you can remote seeing and you can look into this volcano. Would you like to come up and roll the die to see how well that goes? Here you go. And as a witch, you may roll this twice and take the better result. A 14 plus 1 is a 15. Excellent. And a 19. Another 19. You guys are very lucky. A very good spell indeed. You cast a spell of far seeing, and you can look into the volcano, and indeed you can see that the followers of the Golden Overseer have begun to mine deep into this volcano to look for riches, and it is indeed their mining which has caused the poisonous gases to come spewing out of this old volcano. Something that you didn't know before. Perhaps this can help you in the future. An old man, an old weaver actually, named Giles, has taken in a family of elven refugees. They live in his cellar for fear of being discovered by the overseer's henchmen, but Giles is having trouble finding food enough to feed them all. Is there maybe a frontline responder amongst you that can help out? Oh, here we are, yes. And what does this brave young adventurer do to help gather food for this family of elven refugees?
Well, I happen to know of a plant that is very, very invasive and yet edible. Are there any autumnal plants around nearby?
I'm sure that there are, but you can go out and take a look for them if you'd like. Securing food.
19.
A third 19. Incredible. Yes, you gather some of the other children of the town, and you all go out and bring back bushels, armfuls of these plants that you can you can turn into some jam to help feed the people there. Fantastic, fantastic. Now, let's see. Who else do we have among us? What other roles do we have down there? We have a ranger, a fighter. Excellent. Yes. An artificer. Ooh. Do any of you have any other ideas how you might help the people of Hearth's home? There's a druid, yeah. There are some people who are injured and sick, and with the doctors and healers gone, perhaps a natural remedy from the druid could help. Excellent. And you can roll twice because your roll makes this an easier task for you. We have a 14 plus 1 is a 15. That's good. Roll again. You might even do better. And only a 5, but we'll take the better roll. Yes, you succeed in bringing back some natural remedies that you know as a druid will help heal these people of Hearth's home. Now, do we have any storytellers down there that might help raise the spirits? Not in this group. Do we have any weavers, fighters? We have fighters. Disruptors. Do you want to? There are henchmen of the overseer that are going about town. Arthur, do you want to stand up against this injustice? No. That's okay. That's all right. You don't have to. It's a big burden to put upon such small shoulders. Well, you have done great work today, and already the people of Hearth's home are enriched by your brave actions. Thank you very much.
Should we sing our children's song together? Let me get it open here. We are children of the stars, we are children of the earth, we are spinners and weavers in this web of life, and the joy that we weave reaches out beyond the stars and deep within the center of our being. We are children of tomorrow, we are children of our dreams, we are planners and builders in this web of life, and the future that we weave reaches out beyond the stars and deep within the center of our being.
Though the work to help this beleaguered community fills your days, in the evenings you make space for quiet reflection and togetherness. On one of these nights, a seer in your party steps forward to share his vision.
Good morning. I was very pleased to be asked to speak this morning. I noticed they are calling this a testimony, and I'm glad that I'm not before Congress or a hostile group of medieval, I'm not sure what you'd call yourselves. You're really a friendly-looking group, so I'm happy to be up here. The real reason I'm up here is to call attention to the idea that we're doing our pledge campaign and to speak on a theme that I'm guessing a number of others, or few others at least, will speak about in terms of what matters to me about this place and you people. So it's a logical question as we recommit to each other through our pledges for next year. And I invite you two to reflect this morning briefly on our beloved community and what it means to you. I chose to ask myself 3 questions. I invite you to consider them also. The first question I thought about was really, where was I before I came here? And what led me to come here? And I know each of you have a different story. Some good, some not so good. My wife really is not interested in institutional religion at all, having grown up with a completely different experience than I. And I know we all respect wherever each of we are on that continuum. But I grew up in downtown Detroit. Well, I'm not in downtown Detroit, but I went to a church in downtown Detroit that was super liberal and very peace-oriented. And we had a legal aid society and an abortion counseling and a conscientious objector counseling, and I mean, everything you could think of that was service to the community and service to ourselves. And it basically ruined me for any other church experience until I bumped into UU's. Grateful when my brother took me to his UU church in Evanston. But my church was, I mean, every week, the themes were based on theological intellects. Paul Tillich, and I was thinking back of how much as a teenager I learned and felt connected to Dietrich Bonhoeffer, I mean, a teenager, Harvey Cox, Reinhold Niebuhr, and with great gratitude, you, a number of you, and Alex too, bring that tradition here. And that's one piece that I really appreciate in being able to be part of our congregation. The second question I asked was, what have I learned here at UUCGT? And some of these things are specific and some of them are sort of amorphous, but here they are, a few of them. First, I've learned that faith formation, I didn't know that word until I came here. The faith formation isn't over when you exit childhood or even midlife. In fact, it may have just begun. And by faith, I mean a felt sense that our world is an overall friendly place, that people are basically good at heart, and that you can trust your own deepest experience. In the 15 years since I've been here, as first a friend and then a member, it's the variety of questions posed by you all that have really stretched me. Is there a God? Is there no God? Well, I've come to the conclusion for myself personally that it doesn't really make any difference. I've shifted from Father God to Mother Earth, and I guess at this point I'm more a UU Hubu, which I, as in Buddhist and humanist. And yet I know there's a place for you to define for yourselves what you are and the resources that we have with us, with all of us, in order to explore those questions. I've learned to grieve the suffering and the losses of my friends and family in the last 15 years by participating in this congregation. I listen carefully to our weekly joys and concerns, and there's a sense of reassurance that those experiences occur for us all. And we go along merrily most days, but there's still a context that we share. And there was a huge reassurance to me when the first death in my family happened, and then the second, and then the third, and other things as well. I've learned that through the sharing of our members in our services, sometimes courageously, that all disabilities, including mental illness, all other kinds of previously not so sensitized to difficulties, can be destigmatized and understood and accepted and supported, and that we are all whole and holy despite our challenges. I've gained an understanding of transgender issues and a basis for embracing my beloved niece, also a UU board member in Evanston. I've learned that small groups here at UUCGT are a route to connecting with others, and they provide a setting for us to practice the principles of shared leadership and right relations. Our small groups enrich this large group. And what do I hope for? What's my vision? Well, of course, it's my vision, not all of the other visions, each of which are to be recognized and heard. I hope we continue to have a place for those who aspire to be religiously erudite. Thank you very much to Alex and to all of you who have shared things over the last years in different small groups. I hope our social justice contributions can make a difference to individuals in our local and national and world communities. Not only are we helping others, we're helping ourselves. Collective action offers a path toward the healing of moral injury that we all feel as we witness the indignities and injustices of this world, as of yesterday, for example. But I'm thrilled by our growth in this area, and I sure hope we can keep it going. I hope that together we can be a lab for the trial and error application of UU principles and values in our personal lives and in our public lives. And finally, I hope that the great crowd of kids and young parents that we have begun to grow keeps growing, because there is wonderful value in that for them and for us. And as you look around this congregation, there are a few adults with children who were children here too. And that really matters in terms of long-term congregational continuity. So as we contemplate our pledges for next year, I invite you to reflect upon where you are in your own arc of spiritual growth. What have you learned here? What are your hopes for yourself and for all of us? There is dignity and satisfaction in giving. There's a sense of connection, a belongingness to all others in the giving of our treasure and time and talent. May we pledge to learn and grow and to serve and support each other in this year ahead. And I would also like to thank the person who asked me to do this, that I filled out my pledge form this morning thinking it would be a bit inconsistent to not have done that. So I'm going to drop it in the box on the way out. Thank you.
Taking stock of our remaining inventory, Beth realizes that both sustaining our congregation of adventurers and the wider work we do in the community comes at a cost. But she's not disheartened, because she's seen the light of generosity that shines in this congregation is brighter than any dragon's hoard of gold. So she steps forward with an important request.
Thank you, Chris. Friends, every adventuring party eventually takes stock of its supplies. Torches don't stay lit forever. Inns must be paid. Maps must be drawn. And the work of tending the village in the wider realm requires resources. It is a privilege to sustain a congregation as this, not just for today's quest, but for the weeks, years, and generations to come. As a self-governing and self-sustaining community, we receive no outside funding. We rely on the generosity of those who find meaning and belonging here. This morning, our ushers will pass baskets with two sides. One side supports the life and mission of this congregation, the hearth where we gather. The other supports the needs of the wider community, food programs, shelters, and services for neighbors who are most vulnerable. You may also give using the options on the screen. If you give by check, online, or through an app, please note whether your gift is for your pledge, for community needs, or for a special collection. If this is your first time with us, please be our guest as the baskets are passed. Your presence is gift enough. Every offering, whether by coin, check, or click, keeps the light of generosity burning brighter than any dragon's hoard. We now gratefully receive this morning's offering.
Friends, please join me in singing if you feel so moved. See one tiny spark, still small and bright, and hands cupped around to shield its light. A single flame born of desire, faces turned towards its glow. Pass on the light, pass on the light, long may it shine, steady and strong. Pass on the light, pass on the light, from night to dawn, carry it on. The circle of light grows as it's passed from young hands to old and back again, sharing youth's wonder, wisdom of age, spreading love as it goes. Pass on the light, pass on the light, long may it shine, steady and strong. Pass on the light, pass on the light, from hand to hand, carry it on. And still it shines on, year unto year, from one tiny spark to big and clear, each generation lighting our way, forward bright through the night. Pass on the light, pass on the light, may it shine, steady and strong. Pass on the light, pass on the light, from heart to heart, carry it on. Carry it on.
Time passes in Hearth's home. It is late fall now. The air outside is crisp and cold, but we've gathered below ground. We're in the wine cellar of the Boar and Bell, the inn just at the edge of town. It's a clandestine gathering, our band of adventurers and the townfolk of Hearth's home. In here, the air is hot and stifling with the pack of bodies. There's loud and vigorous debate about what actions we should take and which we should not take. No one can seem to agree. Beth has something she'd like to share, but can she make herself heard above the din?
A 16.
A success. The gathered crowd quiets and prepares to hear the words she has to share.
Friends, adventurers, and townsfolk of Hearth's home. In moments like this, when the air is thick with urgency and no one can quite agree on the path forward, I'm reminded of a question posed by the Detroit-based Asian American activist Grace Lee Boggs. This is from Deepa Iyer's book, Social Change Now, that offers much wisdom for us in these times of challenge and peril. At the start of community meetings, Grace would begin with a question. What time is it on the clock of the world? What time is it on the clock of the world? When I reflect on that question, I often have the palpable and sometimes urgent feeling that the time is ripe. The time is now. The time is immediate for social change. Deepa Iyer writes, "We are living through a time that demands our attention and requires our consistent action. People around the world are confronting wars, climate disasters, and economic inequity at unprecedented levels. Here in the United States, we face an almost daily barrage of attacks and restrictions on the rights, bodies, and livelihoods of people. The violent insurrection at the U.S. Capitol in 2021 came on the heels of a polarizing presidential election that followed 4 years of bans, wars, walls, and raids against communities. The global pandemic exposed the weaknesses of the public systems and institutions that we have long relied on, from education to housing to public health. The visible presence of white nationalist groups is spurring fear. Transgender youth feel unsafe in schools and on streets. Climate change is a continual threat to everyone on the planet. Our belief in the promise of social change through connections with one another is why we keep trying after feeling disappointment, why we keep returning after grieving, why we keep fighting after resting. It's why we infuse our efforts with joy, passion, affirmation, and healing. We intuitively know that something better is blooming, growing, emerging. And we want to be part of that momentum, that stream, that journey. How can each of us contend with the urgency of this time with effectiveness, sustainability, and strong connections? How can we embody grace, joy, and accountability, even when the external forces of division and inequity are relentless?
In the last years, elven refugees from the ruined lands of the West have settled in Hearth's home. They've been welcomed by the community and worked to make a life here. However, the Golden Overseer claims that their presence here is dangerous. He's convinced his followers and henchmen that the elves are thieves and blackguards, and that the people of Hearth's home will not be safe until they've been driven back into the West. The henchmen of the Golden Overseer gather in greater numbers, and even as winter approaches, they prepare to evict these refugees. Are there any among you who would stand against this? What role do you play in this group?
I've never played before, but my sticker is Ranger.
A ranger, okay. And what will you do to help these elven refugees here, Ranger?
First of all, I give them an ear, like they need to be heard.
Hmm.
And a platform. I just want to hear everyone's stories. And I think people are moved more when we hear the truth from them and from our children and our elders.
Sure.
And like, I don't know, maybe like create like a story that shows that we're a lot more similar, and that what is the guy name? The golden guy?
The Golden Overseer, yeah.
Maybe he needs to be driven out.
Right, okay. Yeah, indeed. So you, rangers are often known for being guides in the wilderness, but it sounds like you want to be more of a guide towards action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Showing them a possible path that the townsfolk could take. Well, if you'd like, come forward and roll a die to see how successful you are.
Thank you.
17. Fantastic. A great success. Yes, you show them a path forward, and people begin making connections and planning with your guidance. Now, are there any others who wish to take a role in this? Who maybe haven't already had a role to play this morning? In the back, Chris. In the back? Yes. And what manner of adventurer steps forward now?
I'm a druid.
A druid. And what plans do you have for the people of Hearth's Home?
So I have the ability to take wolf shape. If that's
Yes?
okay.
Yeah, of course.
And so I'm going to go spy on the guards and the Golden Overseer.
Oh,
to see what their
fantastic.
plans are.
Yeah, you're well suited to that as a druid, so please make 2 rolls and see what their plans might be. Only 5. But you have a second roll as a skilled.
Hold up, go for it.
16 is 17 total, yes. In your wolf form, you are able to spy upon their actions, and as they gather for these raids, you're able to communicate with the people so that they can avoid these henchmen to great success. Let's do one more. As the cold weather comes in and there's a poor harvest, the elven community, bolstered by your support, wants to give a little back. So they send out hunting parties to search for wild game in the surrounding wilderness. Are there any rangers amongst you? Any guides that? Oh, here we have a ranger down here who wants to go hunting with the elves. Yes, as a ranger, you are well suited for this kind of thing. 12 for a total of 13, or perhaps even better. Another 19 for a total of 20. Yes, with your help and the elves, you come back with much food to help improve the larders here in Hearth's Home. Congratulations. Things are looking much brighter now thanks to your heroism and your efforts. But now we'll take a break from the game while we share our joys and concerns.
Good morning. I'm Carl Kyneth. I'm here pinch hitting for Jane Watts. It is our practice as a religious community to set aside time in our service to name and honor the joys and concerns that mark our lives, the milestones and moments of our lived experience. I will be sharing the joys and concerns that have been offered up for us to hold on our hearts as we are gathered today. If you have a joy or concern that's a bit too heavy to share, I invite you to reach out to Reverend Alex or to a member of the congregational care team. You can identify us by our purple ribbons on our name tags. You can also light a candle at any time during the service or honor your joy and concern during our stone meditation, knowing that you are held in the loving hearts of this community. Here is what's been, none of us is meant to travel life's journey alone. Here is what's been shared with this gathered community. We have a joy from our dear Chrissy Roberts, now in San Diego. She writes that UUCGT remains close to her heart and that she'll continue pledging. She's going to continue pledging to support this congregation she loves. She's doing well, finishing a few upgrades to her new home, and enjoying true Southern California weather, over 80 degrees this week. She hasn't yet found a church that feels quite like this one and sends her love to everyone. She says she'll especially miss wearing the money hat on Push Sunday. Chrissy asked us to picture her waving as she watches online. Loves, hugs, and her very best to us all. So Chrissy, if you're watching, thank you for that plug for the pledge drive. Carl Kyneth writes, Lauren and I took a giant step on their journey to downsize their space yesterday as they placed an offer on a condo in the Creekside development. And now let's hold a moment of silence for the stillness, for the concerns and joys that remain in the silence of our hearts.
friends, this has been a heavy week and a heavy weekend with a lot going on in our world. Now is the time in our service, if you have something on your heart you'd like to lay down or to bring forward. I have some stones here, and our bowl is ready. Come as you feel moved.
Would you please join me in singing our song of response, Spirit of Life? Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the land, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
So we're back in the game now.
Yes.
And as a cleric in this party, I've got kind of a shared reflection I'm going to need some help with, so I hope that you're up for that. As we've been learning together, social change in our realm requires a variety of different talents, an ecosystem of care and support beyond any single one of us. No one person or role can do the vital work of transformation. Real social justice and systemic change needs all of us to play our part, to know our roles in the work, to know what roles are not ours to carry, and to build on the work of the whole party as we set out to transform our world. In a development that comes to no surprise to anyone, I'm a cleric, a healer. I'm good at tending wounds and making space. I can bless others with time and presence and cultivate our spiritual resilience. But there's a lot that I can't do, that I'm not really that good at. For example, I'd be a pretty poor excuse for a paladin, a frontline responder who can jump in and be a tank, who can intervene with me with unfolding injustice. But likewise, while I bring my imagination and my creativity to healing, I'm no artificer or experimenter. There are others of you who are gifted at thinking outside the box and reimagining and reinventing systems. And as much as I love magic, I'm no wizard or builder. I can't shape the world into being all on my own. I need someone with practical know-how who wields creative magic in their hands to build things up. There are so many other roles that I'm not. In my clerical schools, they actually often called this something called shared ministry. Is that something you've heard before? Yeah? They taught me that in clerical school. We need each other's gifts, and that's the beauty of belonging to a company and a party like ours. So what do you say? Will you help me out?
So you've all done great work to help bolster and sustain this community, to help build up their food stores for the coming winter. But the Golden Overseer has noticed, and he sends his henchmen with wagons into the town, requesting a tithe. As they go from house to house, if they don't find the tithe meets their requirements, they bust down the door, pulling out goods, meats, canned goods, anything they can find, and loading up these wagons to take it back up the mountain to the Golden Overseer.
So here we are, friends, on the front lines of urgent and visible injustice. I can heal the hungry, and I can raise my voice, but you know I'm not really good at yelling. I can't stop this injustice all on my own. Is there a paladin or a frontline responder out there? Someone with that light blue sticker on who can help out? Oh, I see a paladin over there. Can we get our paladin to come forward and time to roll? I think I need all the help I can get with this one.
Take the better result. All right. And add one to it. Thanks for the tip. A natural one. A 6 plus 1 is only a 7. Ooh. Unfortunately, our paladin here stands bravely, but the wagons push through anyway, the food taken. Yet, his act of resistance sparks something. The townspeople see someone taking a stand, and they note his bravery.
So there's a teaching from our fellow paladin and frontline responder. Paladins help by protecting breathing room. They don't solve every problem, and sometimes they fail, but they are quick to create space and can protect people in harm's way. In social justice work, these are street medics and shelter workers for those who are hungry and unhoused. They are harm reduction specialists and civil rights activists. They defend immigrants and those who are vulnerable. We need paladins and frontline responders to shelter those in harm's way and to provide immediate relief to visible injustice and suffering. And so rise, all of you paladins in the audience with us, our frontline responders. Let's give you a round of applause for your role. Thank you.
Winter looms ever closer. The clouds gathering, snowflakes falling from the sky. A wise elder of the community comes forward to describe how the old food storage system is ineffective. Rats and other vermin getting in, spoiling what little remains after the predations of the Golden Overseer's henchmen.
So friends, here we've come to another challenge. I can bless the bread, but I can't redesign a granary. I need someone who can imagine what doesn't yet exist. Maybe an artificer or an experimenter? Someone with that orange sticker on? Is there one of those in the audience somewhere? Any experimenters? Oh, I see a hand there. We've got an experimenter. You want to come forward and roll the dice? There you go. You roll twice to take the better result. 20.
A natural 20. You can do no better than that, I think.
That dice is weighted, I swear.
The design, you design hidden reserves. You diversify supply chains. You create a rotating communal storage model. It is very successful, and the people feel secure that they will be able to eat this winter.
And so from the artificer and the experimenter, we learn another useful set of skills, a deep truth. Experimenting sometimes risks failure, but without those who can experiment and invent, we remain trapped in our broken systems. We cannot move forward with imagining something new. Trying and failing teaches us more than just maintaining things that have never worked or have worked only for some. Courage is not only standing in protest, it's also trying something new altogether. Our experimenters and artificers in social justice are teachers and educators. They're climate scientists. They're community organizers and innovators willing to risk the failure of possibility for a better future. We need artificers and experimenters to help us see possibilities and inventions that we cannot see ourselves. And so, if there are any other inventors and artificers, rise in our audience and let us give you a round of applause for your role in this work.
Even with the food and systems improving, the Golden Overseer remains in power and rules from his keep on the volcano. The town must network with others to help join forces and resist.
Friends, we still have some major problems here as well. I can tend to the people of this village and maybe even help restore their spirits, but I can't reshape a kingdom all on my own. I need someone who sees beyond our small village of Hearthstone, who can help us to build a network to overthrow this Golden Overseer. We won't be able to do this all on our own. Is there a wizard or a builder at present? Maybe someone with a dark blue sticker who hasn't participated before? Oh, I see a wizard over there. I really need your magic. Fingers crossed, everyone.
What did we get, Oliver?
15, 16.
Okay. All right. Well, that is a success. Thank you. You help to weave networks with neighboring villages and the community of elven refugees. You draft a covenant charter. You create a system of signal fires across the valley. The towns begin to unite. The overseer's power weakens.
So what do we learn from our builders and our wizards? We learn that long-term change is slow. New changes and visions are rarely accepted at first. Wizards are the ones who plant trees whose shade they may never sit under in their lifetime and enjoy. And yet, a failed attempt today may actually be the foundation for tomorrow's movement. In social justice work, these are our city planners and policy writers. These are our coalition builders and our people who organize and give freely in mutual aid. These are people who build with their hands as well as their minds. And so, rise any other wizards and builders in the audience. We need your magic now more than ever. If you would rise now, and we'll give you a round of applause for your role. So to close, I'm a cleric and a healer. I can mend, bless, and sustain hope. But without a paladin, I'm overwhelmed. Without an artificer, I repeat old systems and old ways of doing things. And without a wizard, we all rebuild the same broken world. Social change is not an individual endeavor or a solo campaign. Every one of us is already playing a role and a character class. The question is not whether you are needed. It's whether you're willing to play your part and to let others play their part as well. Amen. And now, part of my role in holding the spiritual resilience, we're going to have a moment of stillness to really let these messages sink in.
Would you please rise in body or in spirit and join me in singing our closing hymn, our new virtual hymn for March called The Tide is Rising. The tide is rising, and so are we. The tide is rising, and so are we. The tide is rising, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. The task is mighty, and so are we. The task is mighty, and so are we. The task is mighty, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. The sun is rising, and so are we. The sun is rising, and so are we. The sun is rising, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. The world is ready, and so are we. The world is ready, and so are we. The world is ready, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. One more time. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be.
And so we come to the end of our second session. In the first, we learned what it took to simply survive the challenges of the world and the uncertain hand that fate might deal us. Today, we traveled out into the world and learned that by combining our individual strengths, we could begin to right some of the injustices we found there. Challenges remain, but adventures that we will face together.
It is time to extinguish the chalice, but we will not extinguish the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts out into the world until we meet again.
Ended up with a trick candle there. If you're comfortable, you're invited to join hands with your neighbor or to engage in our symbol of please do not touch me with your hands outstretched. Those of you online are also welcome to outstretch your hands and join us in this gesture of connection in the life of our community. And in the spirit of covenant, community, and commitment, and in the spirit of Dungeons and Dragons, and how no single one of us can change the world alone, may we be made ready to serve one another and create the world we so desperately dream of. Go in peace. And I hope this was a lot of fun, and we'll see you later. Happy Sunday.